good matches, from start to finish. I mean, Penn State wrestled hard. Some of those matches where it appeared to be a little bit lopsided, we were real competitive in them, and I think that's chemistry of a team. The next guy goes out, wrestles a little bit harder, when he sees his teammate competing hard. If you told me we'd give up 2 pins and win the match, I'd tell you, it could have been an ugly match. But I was glad the next guy came out, kind of recuperated, Dean Howell, after getting pinned at 33, wrestling hard and well, and then Kalika coming and obviously picking up a important tech fall, so just some key things that you need to see, in a team to improve. I mean, that's really what our focus is, probably the rest of the season, is to make sure we utilize this season to get everything we can out of them, and wherever that may finish, we'll finish, So, good improvement today.
After Kindig went down, did you or anyone else say anything to Colic, or was that just all him looking fired?
No, I
haven't seen him like that at all.
Well, I will say that it's a good senior they have there that's returning back to the mat, and give the guy credit. He's a tough guy, But at the same time, we talked about over the last several matches, especially the bigger matches, when something goes wrong, somebody's got to step up and turn it over, And if that means an upset, if that means just something that we're surprised in, then make it happen. That's how you win dual meets. That's how you create momentum in dual meets. It's always the guy that does something that you wasn't quite ready for, and in this kind of setting, in this kind of atmosphere, that's why dual meets are great. You see it happen a lot.
You think Kindig might have re-aggravated his injury that he got against Pittsburgh?
Not sure. I didn't even visit with him. I think that whole scenario in the first period, I haven't seen him make mistakes like that very often, turning into a guy, that scenario. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You don't want to make mistakes this time of year.
Final stretch of the season coming up. What do you guys need to work on the most for the Big 12 tournament? And
I'm not really focused on the Big 12 tournament, but I will say that just making sure that we respect this month and my guys understand what it takes during this month to really be successful at the end. And I've taken a whole different approach to what I want to accomplish probably in mid-January, when I realize, hey, we may not be a team that can compete for a championship, but let's take a real look at what we can do to maybe put ourselves in position next year. In my 24 years of coaching, I haven't done that, but I've done that now. And that doesn't mean there's not effort on this team. It just means that's where we're at right now. And so when you say what can we do before the Big 12 championships, there's a lot we're going to do, and it ain't about the Big 12 championships. It's about getting better, making sure we can maintain some intensity throughout a match, learn to win close and tight matches, know how to score with 30 seconds remaining, know how to defend with 30 seconds to go. So there's a lot to learn, and that's where my focus is right now.
How would you describe the atmosphere in GIA?
I thought it was good, I thought it was exciting. I appreciate the people that came out. I liked the stage. I thought that created a good environment for us, and we was able to deliver. It's been 2 years since we really have won a big dual meet. Although we had a great ending to our season last year, we lost 5 dual meets, and most of them the big dual meets. So it was important that we kind of learn how to win another big dual meet. We've won a lot in our history at Oklahoma State, and there's a few of these guys that really haven't felt that.
Think you'll continue to bring the stage in?
Excuse me?
Do you think you'll continue to bring the stage in?
Well, we'll see. I think it's definitely something that we'll continue to look at. I think it's creates a little bit more of a intense environment from the standpoint of the athlete and have to perform. So you're on the stage, right? You got to perform.
Kyle Cushman definitely did that at 174 today. That was that was a really hard fought match from him.
You know, I don't think we've seen that. I mean, from the standpoint of just against one of the better guys in the country, him staying in matches, being competitive. I think a little bit he got a little bit emotional out there. This Kyle Crutchmer is a strong guy, and he's spent 2 years now here at Oklahoma State breaking some poor habits. We haven't got them all cleaned up yet, but boy, he's working at them, and he's doing the right things to get there. And you know, I was pleased with the effort. You know, was I pleased with the way he wrestled the entire match? No, but I see great improvements. I see matches when you're competitive like that, what it can do for your confidence. And you know, he's a guy that just, you know, you want to get something out of your year this year, and it's real important that you recognize that, so you come back a little bit more mature, and we start at a much higher level of an opportunity to look at yourself completely different. So this finish for him is going to be real important.
Going off of trying to, you know, get a finish to your season, get something out of a year, how about Kamara's performance at 125 today? That seemed like a break.
Well, I think we all saw the same thing. We saw a little bit of brilliance there at the beginning, and then fell asleep for about a period and a half and seemed to pick it back up. But you don't have to be at your best right now, you know, but you need to recognize some things as we go down this stretch that, you know, you're going to have to ask yourself and continue to push yourself. Things don't change unless you really focus in on the things that need to happen. And there's a lot of effort on a daily basis. You're not just thinking about it at 3 o'clock when practice time is. You're thinking about it, you know, whenever you're not studying at night when I'm laying in bed. You're thinking of the things that you got to do to really have success. And the more I can get this across to my student athletes, that it's not what we do at 3 o'clock. It's what we do all day, every day. Living that lifestyle that really allows you to make some changes and move in the direction you want. He needs to do that. You know, he needs to look at that match and, yeah, it was 8 against 9, but where does that put you? You know, you're in a battle to win. That puts you in the round of 12, hoping to maybe pull through All-American honors, you know. So make that bounce, you know. And we did see some brilliance out of him that I haven't seen in that first minute and a half. So it's not all bad. There was some good to it.
With everything that he's been through in the past year, how have you seen him taking this approach to his second chance?
I don't know how to answer that question. I expected him to be a little further along, but at the same time, there's a lot of energy from him in the workout room right now, and everything may not be showing. You don't know when it's going to show. It's got to show this year, though, you know. So I appreciate the effort and energy that's going into these workouts. So.
The last 2 years, you've always mentioned somebody needs to be that spark. Does it seem like he could be potentially that spark in the right?
I think we had a lot of spark tonight. I think you just got to kind of look at your team. What do you got? You know, not sure that we're not. What's the word I'm looking for? For what we have, we're wrestling above what we're capable, and that's what you like to see. You know, so we got guys doing some things out there tonight that wasn't sure it could do it, and we did it. And those are the things you like to see. You like to see your team wrestling above what they're capable of wrestling. You know, and a lot of times that ends up in a good place at the end.
If I asked you a year ago if Marston would be wrestling to win a duel against Penn State, what would you have said?
I'd say, I'd say most likely he probably would. You know, the dual meet, the way it looked, was going to be tough and tight, and we were going to have to wrestle hard to make it tight. You know, we were going to have to wrestle, you know, up to our capability and then some to make it tight. And most of those guys gave that opportunity, and giving up 2 pins and still coming away with the win was good.
Gentlemen, you win I know duels don't transfer to tournament wrestling, but when you win a duel like that kind of toward the end of the season, that can kind of infuse a little spark in your wrestling room again.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, you know, those are excited kids out there, you know, even the guys that kind of didn't have the night they wanted. Gary Wayne Harding, obviously. But seeing his team do those type of things, those are good memories as we go forward, and you need those memories to maintain excellence. That's for sure. I mean, and somebody's got to create them. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to go out and wrestle, you know. And what can it do for us? Well, we'll get better. Yeah, you don't normally fall in the wrong direction, you know. We got 2 dual meets left out in North Carolina. You know, tough dual meets. We may be shorthanded, which makes it tougher, but you know that's fine. We've wrestled shorthanded all year and have good success.
You said your expectations kind of changed in January of this team. What are they?
Well, I just think, you know, sometimes you run a team and you start saying our only option is to win nationals. That could be really a poor message if you don't have that team, you know. So, and that's okay, you know, for now, you know, because I have no other choice. So really focusing on the things that we need to get done and making sure that we stay very competitive and recognizing some of the things that we got to do to beat teams from the Big Ten.
Which was more exciting, this one or last night in Shawnee?
I don't know. It was both pretty exciting. You know, having a son on a team that wins dual state's pretty exciting because, you know, it was important to him and getting to be a part of that from the stands as a fan. I don't know. You could get used to that. You know, it's a lot easier than this side. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
You know, I believe just that momentum, just to get everyone else fired up and ready for the duel was really important. It started us off well, coming out there and beating a ranked kid higher than me, and it just started us off well.
What was the attitude like in the room this week, knowing that you had Penn State coming in? Because everyone seemed like they wrestled with it about as much energy as they had all season.
You know, we've kind of been, I wouldn't say laying off, but it's been intense. We've been working on things, practicing harder. It's been just as intense as it's been all year. Just been improving on our technique and stuff and working hard.
Anthony, when you see Josh go down, pinned and injured, what's the mindset going up there following that?
I was just like, I got to do a bigger job than I'm supposed to do, and I just went out there and wrestled tough, and I knew that guy he gets tired usually, so I mean, just knew I had to wrestle hard the whole time, and I'd be all right.
You started pushing him around. Was there a point in that match where you just said, all right, this is my match now, and I'm going to dictate it from here on out?
I mean, I kind of felt him like wear down in the first period, so I mean, just got me. I mean, he'd excited, I guess, because you put up more points then, and just felt like, I don't know, my legs felt good today, so.
Eddie, you were already done, but when you saw him do what he did, how much did that fire up the bench?
Oh, it fired up the bench pretty intensely. We started saying he was going in beast mode, so it was pretty exciting to see that, especially going out there and beating up a higher ranked opponent and him just doing work on that. So that was exciting.
Is this something you guys have seen in the room from him, that you saw this potential in him?
Oh yeah, definitely. Calca's always been up there. He's been, you know, he works hard. I mean, we come up here at nights and work out. Me and him both. He works out hard. He does the same thing he does in the practice room. He just brought it out today even more.
Colin, how big was it to see Gallagher as packed as it was, and the Risen stage? Just how much did it help the team as far as getting into this match and being as intense as it was?
I mean, it was real cool. I've never seen it like this before, I don't think. Maybe once or twice last year, but it was real cool to be on a stage again. I haven't been on a stage since, like, high school, which was, like, real cool being on it again. And just, like, it's, like, a different feeling up there than anything else, I guess.
Coach has mentioned how the last few years you guys haven't won the big duels. How important is it, I guess, mentally, and what's the feeling now, saying that you can beat those top 5 guys now?
You know, this duel was actually really important, you know, coming out here and beating Penn State, former national champions. I mean, last year we lost, I wouldn't say badly, we all wrestled good, but it wasn't close. Coming out here, beating them in our home field advantage, you know, beating them in Gallagher-Iba was huge for us, especially Kent State, Nittany Lions, you know, so that was exciting. It's especially in the end of the year, it's a push, knowing that we're getting there. We're right around the corner.
Anything else? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We do have Marston.
Thank you.
Did you win back finally?
Yeah, I got my win back.
How tough was that one? I mean, you looked gassed pretty much from the get-go, both of you guys.
Just I was more emotionally drained. Well, not drained. Just I got caught up with the match. Instead of worrying about my match, I was already looking what the outcome was, and that's what really got me tired. It wasn't my shape or my conditioning. It was just mostly just letting stuff get to my head, and so that what really slowed me down that match. So other than that, I wasn't gassed. I could have done more. I know I could have.
At what point did you, either during the match or maybe at some point in the week where you thought, this might come down to me?
Well, my coaches always tell me any duel can just come down to me, so always be prepared for that situation. And I know how it feels like because I've been in that situation many times throughout my career, and I haven't been on the winning side as much as in the past, but now I'm starting to get a couple wins. Iowa State match came down, and this match came down to me, and starting to get used to the situation and just be more calm and not really let the hype get to me.
What was the mood like when you see 2 guys take a pin, especially Josh, one of your guys who was favored handily to win that one?
You know, just thinking anything can happen in a duel, and just trying to maintain confidence throughout a match and throughout the duel, and not let things get to your head, regardless what happened. You got to bounce back from as a team and as an individual.
How big of a boost was it then, the way that Kalika came out right after Josh's fall?
That match got me really excited. That really got me excited to compete, and it got me just jacked up to go upstairs. I got to go upstairs right away and start my warm-up because I know that match really got me motivated to win, too, for this crowd and for the school, especially against Penn State.
What was it like to be on that stage and with the atmosphere and then get the victory at the end?
Oh, it was just a great feeling, and having a stage has really amped up the whole atmosphere, and having a crowd there to back us up, because I remember going there last year against Penn State. They had a huge crowd, and having them come here and feel our crowd was even better. Yeah.
You talk about Eddie starting off the duel, obviously with the first upset. How important was it for you guys to see him, especially with everything that he's gone through the past year, to start off this important duel that way?
I'm real proud of Eddie, even though what's happened to him. He's came a long way, and he's still driving to be, the best in his weight class, regardless what has happened to him. He's a hard worker. He's motivated all the time, and he pushes himself to the limit. And since we're roommates, I see him working hard like that. I try to do my best to work as hard as him too. And that match was just huge for him and for the team because that got us rolling, and because he kept telling me he was motivated throughout this whole week for his match, and he just kept talking about it. I'm like, all right, man, let's go out there and see what you can do. And he went out there and proved what he's been working for has been working.
How much of a spark does he provide in the room? It seems like he's one of those guys whose energy his engine's always moving.
Oh, he's always moving. He's like I always hear him in the room, like he's always getting called out to show moves because he just has the technique, he has the speed for it, and he's just like an unbelievable wrestler, and he's finally getting where he needs to be to become a champion, and I really see that happening for him.
Anything else? Thank you.